So let's start. Magic sauce in modern SEO. Google has changed. UX is absolutely a part of SEO today. It's about experience. And when you're allowed to do it in your SEO projects, you have a way better outcome than when you do not have it. And this will explain why. So let's get to it. So what you will learn today is the connection between Google users and UX. We will also discuss how Google has changed. It's no longer about keywords, it's about user needs. And user needs and needs is one of the most difficult topic we have in the Swedish business life. I will explain why. There will also be some insights through examples, cases, and discussion, and actually your questions. So your questions will provide for everyone else. Please keep that in mind when you ask questions. Could be 50 people having this question when you ask it. So please ask it. We will also look a little bit into the economics of UX improvements when it comes to SEO. So this is what you will learn today. First, what is the direct connection between SEO and UX? Now, Google has many guidelines. There are thousands of pages with different types of guidelines. So here is a specific one. There is a link in the bottom of this slide that you can explore later on with ChatGPT, but I will sum it up for you. Here they talk about satisfying experiences. A satisfying experience has many levels. It could be the correct content, but it's absolutely also about finding the answer to your question really quickly or be able to execute or satisfying your need. This is a UX problem. They talk about holistic page experiences, not a single fix. This is absolutely about UX. They talk about that the searcher do not want to go back and do another query or revisit pages on the same query they did. This is a UX problem. They talk about meet the user needs, and that's the bridge between UX and SEO. Meet the user needs. So this is the official guidelines. This is my slightly interpretation, but it's very easy for you to be critical of this. You just go to the link in the bottom of this and have a conversation about that content with ChatGPT. So let's continue. I want to share something that I actually learned this year, and this might be a bit weird that I'm arriving this late to the trust game. That's not the case. So we did a webinar pre-summer about AI overviews, and we used a lot of studies in that webinar. You can go to our YouTube channel and revisit that webinar in case you did not attend it. And there was one user study where they actually had 100 and 200 people, and they collected information how they interacted with the AI overviews. And it turns out that one of the perspectives that is equally important as relevance is trust. The user likes the Google AI overviews, but they do not trust them. They want to control the information. So once there is information there that is important to them, they verify. And since AI summary is basically an article, it's the same as your articles on your pages, and the user behaves the same way. So if you have content, they consume it in different ways to get the answer they are looking for. They also question it. So this thing about trust is very, very important. And it is, of course, included in the EEAT guidelines. But for me, it was such a revelation to see that the user likes the content, but they verify. And this is actually very, very important when you build an experience. You need to assume that everything you produce will be questioned. And if you do that, it will have a positive impact on the user metrics on your website. They will stay longer, they will buy more, they will trust your content more, and they will become returning visitors, which is very, very important. Um, and of course, this is actually what branding does. So if you have lots of offsite communication about your brand, what needs you fulfill, what values you have, and why you're exceptional, and people recognize this, this is a shortcut to create this trust. But many do not. So if you have an ordinary website, an ordinary e-commerce, or any site at all, you need to take this into consideration a lot, that when the user arrives at your page to consume your content and get the information they want or to fulfill their needs, you need to address the trust issue right away. And this is a UX problem. Now you see me summarizing the information from this research. I also seem to forgot to add the link here. I will do that before I send this out to everyone. I advise you to read this study very thoroughly. It is the most important study created 2025. It's what I learned most from. And it has with the importance of trust. And this is rarely spoken about when we do SEO out there the last 10 years, but it's actually way more important than what everyone thinks. Okay, so I'm going to try to also explain this with a little bit of history, how it works. So SEO in the past was about keywords. So there was plenty of content website in the United States who had 73 ways how to boil an egg, right? So you had the keyword, people searched for the keyword, and Google just matched it. And this was actually, yeah, the first. It works a little bit like still like this today. So it's important to notice. So you have the keyword, you answer the question, and you have the keyword in the title tag, and people will click. But things is changing because Google doesn't want to be about keywords. They want to assist the user in answering the question, because every search is a question. And you can see me here. I'm using a Swedish example. It's about the question, how much money can I lend? Which is important if you live in Sweden. And here you have the question. But the way it works these days is that you have the question, but you also need to provide the answer. So you can see it very clearly here. Here is the question, and here is the tool to get you the answer, right? So we're moving from keywords to questions, and you need to provide the answer to be relevant. But the SEO of tomorrow, and possibly it's already here, it's about needs. So every keyword is a keyword. Every keyword is a question. It is a question still, but it's also a need. So let me explain this. When you do a query like hur mycket får jag låna, how much money can I lend? The need behind the keyword and the question is that you're probably researching how big apartment you can buy because you need to lend money from the bank, right? So this is the need. So you need to become relevant for the keyword. You need to answer the question having the calculator. But when they went through all of this, you need to provide them with things that fulfill the need, an offer to loan, which is relevant to you. And this is a UX problem. So what I'm telling you here, that every user does a small journey from their need inside their head, becomes a keyword, which is a question, and then rotates back to the need. And this is basically what I'm telling you today. Every query is a small user journey, and you need to assist them in all these 3 steps. Because if you lack the last step, it's going to hit your site metrics. How long people stay, if they hit the big back button, if they try another calculator. If you can fulfill the needs, the question, and the relevancy, they will not do another query. They will be happy. They got an offer and they will move on and search about something else. a cheap golf trip to Malaga. So this is very, very important in SEO because this is about user satisfaction. And this is super important to Google because it tells you, Google the value of your content that you're providing for them. And if the value is high, high user satisfaction, you'll go up. If it's low, you will go down long term. And I wanted to spend a bit of time explaining this because this is not a perspective that is common out there. It has nothing to do with UX. It's just about how users perceive the world and what they want. And when you give them this, it's to your benefit. So this is my explanation of the connection between SEO and UX. I'm going to continue because I'm taking too much time. So here's an example. And it's actually a very good example of this from an e-commerce perspective. So this is Husqvarna. It's an industrial company in Sweden who do consumer products, robotic lawnmowers, dishwashers, they do refrigerators, lots of stuff. And they have a category page for robot gräsklippare. And it's actually very, very good. I would call it outstanding, actually. So what is so outstanding about this page? Well, if you Google robotic lawn mowers, it's very difficult to see the needs within that query. You can assume they are interested in this robotic lawnmower, but every user has slightly different needs. And I'll show them with explanations in the screenshot. So how they structure the content is very clearly that they have personas because the two blocks here is about the personas. It is a persona who wants to make a good buy, lots of bang for the buck. And it's for the persona who always wants the best, no matter what the price. They also added one product, which is most likely about the most common user problem, that they're using the robotic lawnmower on a hill with some angle, right? This is problematic. People learn that. So they're looking for a lawnmower that can handle this. And you can actually see that in the filter as well. Here, there's a question of the angle of your lawn. And here's another one for the personas. Everyone is not good at buying a robotic lawnmower, so they have a buying guide. It's about how they define the personas. And of course, an offer. And below this, there is this more traditional product view of many different products. But you can see how they speak to different types of users and therefore becoming relevant to more people. And therefore having different site metrics, but also a different experience, which most likely leads to higher conversion rate, maybe not directly, but in the long term, because people keep on going back to this page when they are uncertain. So this is a great example from today's world, and this is ranking top 3 for the word robot gräsklippare in Sweden. Unfortunately, not one, because they made a couple of mistakes. But if they didn't do that, they would be one permanently. It would be very hard to move this content. Yes. I also want to speak a little bit about the economics of UX and SEO, because people completely underestimate this. So if you do UX for SEO reasons, it will also indirectly impact Google Ads because you use the same pages as landing pages. So improvements for SEO will be improvements for Google Ads and most likely all other channels that you use as well. So I created like a small hypothetical example here just to show you what's happening. So here is an e-commerce company that has 10,000 organic clicks, commercial clicks, and they have 20,000 clicks from Google Ads, in the intent to sell. And the conversion rate is the same, order value the same, and they have a value of 240,000 SEK. This is turnover. So they do UX SEO project. And the only thing that we're impacting here is not necessarily more clicks. Someone like we're not getting any more clicks. We just become better. So we have a 2.5% conversion rate and order value is increasing. And you see the value created just increases by almost 40%, right? So there's no dynamic effect here. This is the worst outcome, right? From an SEO perspective. It's the worst. It's one way, it's a failure. Still, you're showing this quite high value. So just imagine if you double the traffic and it was a 3% increase and a 20% increase, you know, the 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 return on investment is increasing significantly. So this is the worst outcome, and it still is a very good outcome. So when you watch SEO from the Google Ads and the SEO perspective like this, you all understand that 100% of the companies in Sweden, they underinvest in design and UX. Everyone. Because if they done this calculation, they would just double or triple the spend. Because that's how high the ROI. And this is the magic sauce. When you decide that you're going to be great at this and you see the world like this, you make very, very different decisions on your SEO and your UX and your design. And this is the magic sauce. Yeah, I'm talking too much. Need to leave some time for Dennis. Sorry. Uh, I think this is your turn now, Dennis.
Yeah, thank you. It's my turn. Thank you, Christian, for this explanation, the connection between SEO and UX. I want to continue these thoughts from the perspective of our agency work. And of course, a beautiful site with our SEO means no visibility, yeah, because we want to lead more traffic here. But if you have this traffic and traffic is not converting site, it's also wasted your time, money, and etc. Because SEO brings people in, and good usability help them find what they want. You need polls for conversion, and you don't need. You should avoid um, that your website become a bottleneck. And that's why let's talk and take a look at some common usability mistake on your website. It's part of them could be on your website. And how to turn your e-commerce website to conversion part. Yeah, please next slide. Christian, please click. Yes, thank you. And we have three main landing page from which user most often begin interaction with this site. It's a product page, product listing page, and home page. Why is important? Because you have to provide all necessary information for users to continue this journey. Because this is the main point when the SEO or other traffic leads to. And for every page, you can see necessary needs of the users, and this is the first step to to make optimization for UX part. And we let's take a look on some practical examples. And you can see in the next slide, please, Christian. The first, it's Photoclock online store. Our case study is one of the best example of how UX and SEO can work together, how our team with Christian can boost your revenue. Some context, yeah. The Photoclock is a Swedish company that has been turning memories into photo books and calendars, student sign since 2010. On the left side, you can see before part, yeah. You can see what this limestone look like before the SEO agency Topdog and our agency Room start working. It's like what we got before this collaboration. And we had the following task in the beginning. We want to improve SEO and of course Google Ads also, improving user experience and content. One of the part we add more traffic for words like Studentsky photo book and photo calendar. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't have experience in Swedish, but I know this word. Yeah, and after that we improve navigation. You can see the difference between header. Yeah, before that it's in the middle and some part of the link in gray shadows. And after that we change it. We move to the left part and highlight the navigation part. We redesigned the key pages and categories product page to improve usability and main KPIs like conversion, time duration, average order value, etc. And align SEO, usability, and branding in one consistent experience. It was like synergy of our team and our task. We can take a look closer to the PDP. No, it's too early. Yeah, it's on this slide. Yeah, maybe you don't see it clearly, but in general, I want to highlight some points on the right part. Yeah, it's we make clarity of choice, make bigger image in the carousel formats. We add related products. We explain how it works. The ordering process right now it's illustrated by icon. Also, you can see some parts on the right side. And we add some trust and conversion cues. The customer photo, you can put it and make it better experience right here because it's one of the most important page on this website. And of course, we change navigation. Of course, you can see the before mobile view and after. It's like burger menu. You can compare how it's now it's clear. If we add some pictures, some pinpoints, and etc., and now you understand how when you should see. And like a result, navigation feels light, trustworthy, and effortless. It helps customer right now to reach goals. Yeah, and right now it's the next slide. Yeah, you can see these results. Maybe Christian, you can you can comment this slide, some results, and these graphs, some few
Yeah,
words.
very short. This is an example of what I described in the economics of UX.
Mhm.
So it's not just SEO here, it's Google Ads. And as you can see, the effects are quite explosive when you do this. And this is an important slide because it's the practicality of my theoretical framework that you have here. This is the
Yes.
practical outcome. So that's my only comment, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to
Thank you
say.
for the comments there. And as you see, we reach this result, plus 30% traffic from Google, thanks the SEO and Topdog, plus 25% boost in conversion, thanks our UX part, and most successful revenue season is company history. It's also the good idea. Yeah. You can read more in case study on the right bottom if you want after the webinar. And we go move forward. Please, Christian, click. Yeah, and this is the it's a conclusion that I said before. It's for those who missed our webinar and see it in recording. You can uh, take a look on this text. I mentioned everything this before on my speech. That's why we can go forward, move forward. Yeah, and let's continue. Yeah, next slide, please. Yeah, let's continue exploring usability mistake on PDP. One of the most common issues we see is a lack of content relevance. It's relevance. It's the I want to highlight this word. No, this is example of Shinodiski. It's tires. a company who sells tires, and PDP example. Here you can see at heat map recording on the left side before. Design change we made with them. We made it with Microsoft Clarity, and you can read the case study, by the way, about this on the side. Yeah, and heat maps show us that users often click at the bottom on the button all features because they were interested in reaching more information because the main feature not visible on this screens. And at the same time, only 60% of the users reach the feature section, while 33% access the review position. I'm sorry, position above the product details on the only on the seventh screen. Yeah, and this was a problem. We understand, fix this problem, highlight it. Yeah, and after that, make some changes. On the next slide, please. We gave recommendation to reposition the features block to appear right after the photo. Yeah, and you can see the new heat maps baked here. Yeah, and this change would make the product details immediately visible and accessible. And now all the users can use the navigation, sticky navigation right here, to reach all information that they need and make a decision and make purchase in the future. And after implementation, this change, over 40% of users access the product features block, and this indicate more visually noticeable. Yeah, and as a result, we increase the micro conversion. It's the action when you click the button add to cart, and we increase this micro CR plus 11% from the product page to the cart. Yeah, please next. This next case study is Unilamp, company from Norwegian company, a global brand in architectural lighting. They created, manufactured it. Yeah, and this screenshots of the site before any changes, and you can see some key problems on the mobile filters, on the mobile dimension. Yeah, you can see the filters in the single columns with page, product cards like and buy in shop or buying option, something like that. Because if you want to add this product to the cart, you can't have this opportunity. And lack of fast access to filtering options because it's not the sticky. It was before. And please click next. Christian, yeah, and now you see the interface after these changes. We added the filter button leading to dedicated page with full information on the filters, price, size, color, etc. We added plus icon to every product to give this opportunity to add to cart or the short list. Optimized filter, and now it looks better and it performs better. As a result, we have plus 30% user engagement. They're ready to buy it or move forward after that. Plus 41% conversion, and plus 60% average session duration. It means user more involved in this process. Also, you can read the case study in more details after the webinar, of course. And let's move forward, please. Next slide. Yeah, and so we already discussed the PDP pages. It's and product list. I show you some key study about this. And let's shift our focus on the homepage and other core pages, especially their structure. And why it's so important to have well-structured content on your website, because better search index, because Google understands this name, data, everything that's Christian mentioned before. It's easy to read. It means keeps attention longer, and as I mentioned before, it's about involving in the process, not only reading, it's process of purchasing, potential purchasing. More clear messages, it's higher conversion because you understand values of this company, information about the goods, and etc. It leads you to the higher conversion. And of course, it builds brand trust and credibility. Yeah, please next. And this is the practical example of one of the website before and after the redesign. Before you can see a lot of text, maybe some bold or a list, and that's all. No explanation is really needed because you see the result. After this changes, we add, you see, we add photo, colors, icons, a lot of information, and now readability of the text increased. And like a next step, we have this result: micro conversion from the category listing to product page increased by 23% for products, and user engagement of the homepage increased by almost 50%, and average time spent on the site increased by 13%, because this text you want to read and want to involve to this process. And after that, when you invest your time, you have more needs and idea to purchase this. And also you can read the case study after the webinar. And please next. Maybe Christian, would you like to comment here on the slide? Yeah, also because graphic, I think it's your side.
Yeah, it's always a little bit difficult to assess something way back into the past, especially where I'm not involved, right? But I think
Yeah.
it's quite clearly, if you just look at this page, the improvements. So if you look at the before page, we call this phenomenon we call wall of content.
Yeah, yeah,
And you can, this is the past SEO. It's still quite common. You can find it in Google. Google is especially still receptive to it, especially when a Swedish index or a Scandinavian index where there is a huge shortage of content. So sometimes Google just take what they have. But the important part here is not Google, right? Because you can rank, but there's no business goals achieved. So the results is pointing more to important business goal, right? Pointing to that time spent on site was increased. More people are exploring the content of this website, meaning there's more time for the website owner to impact the user, and so forth. And this is what you see here. This is the type of content and the kind of packaging that creates good user metrics, that is not pushing the site to the top. It is pulling the website to the top. And sure, this push and pull that might not have too much meaning for you, but trust me, I pushed a lot of websites to the top. And that's not a good thing because it doesn't last as long as you like. You just kick the can of problems down the road. But the pushing, that means you will survive all the updates and you will keep growing, and you don't have to do too much because you will just be more relevant and more relevant, because this gives you a competitive edge compared to your competitors, because this SEO UX is difficult. So no one is synchronizing them, meaning you're not giving the edge. But when you're giving the edge, all your competitors looking at you and they have a hard time understanding why you're successful because they don't have the UX glasses on. So this is my
yeah.
comments.
Thank you, Christian. Yeah, it's really necessary comment. Yeah, please click next. And the last point, but definitely not the least, is the mobile first concept. Everybody knows that a lot of users use mobile and smartphone for make decision or purchase. And the statistic told us that 67 percent of users say that button and links that are too small makes mobile shopping difficult, and that's why we have some strange experience when some users click on the ads or link on the Google, open the mobile dimension of the website, take a look, like like this bug, yeah, and so it's so small. It's I don't understand. Saved in a good way. Save this link and make decision or purchase at home and desktop, but it's should be a really loyal audience. In other way, you lost this person. And to avoid this, you some tips for you. That yeah, it's average fingertip. It should be your like 1 and 6 or 2 centimeters wide, and thumb has a touch area around 25 centimeters. In general, it's like average. The minimum recommendation size for a touch target, it's like 1 per 1 centimeter. It's if we talk about design, yeah, it at least 28 pixels square for make this uh, action more clear and more to add more usability. So when the design a mobile app or responsible website, make sure this enough spacing between interaction elements and that buttons, links larger enough to prevent accident tabs on frustration, because it's really necessary. It's must have, because I know a lot of examples when product has mobile only dimension. It also could work, but it's too risky to average target audience. That's why please make sure that you know these tips. Yeah, please click next. Yeah, and let's take a look at this practical example. It's a spy store project. Before you can see on the left side, the product list page contained a large title, text, description, and photo that users had to scroll a lot to see the product catalog, which affected the KPIs. Yeah, it's as you understand, the KPIs was low. Only 0.13% of mobile users reached the product compression page, and overloaded category layout. We had long text blocks, oversize, uncomfortable and unusual compression button, because it was like you click, it's like some elements, it's not the button. It was a lot of problem, and after on the right side we fixed this thing via usability. And what we did, of course, shorten the text blocks. Now it's easy to get information, products, resize the elements by importance, photo, title, some rate, price, and call to action, add to cart. Increase spacing between the groups to avoid this misclicking. Added the conversion compression button, like weight, yeah, for comparing under the photo, as you see, and introduce the collapsible menu with familiar icons. And we have this result. And please click next. You can read more details about this. Some highlighted results. E-commerce conversion rate increased by 60%. The share of mobile visited grow, of course. The numbers of items added to the mobile, increased by 100%, as you see. And the redesign was released on the May 10th. And as you can see from the graphic, this, yeah, on the bottom, it had a direct impact on organic traffic. And I think that's all what I shared. Maybe Christian, would you like to add comment anything right here or next?
No, we're gonna try to finalize it so we have time for the questions.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe, yeah, you have comments here, but yeah.
No comments in this case. I
Okay.
think we're gonna try to finalize then so we can move to the question part. I see
Yeah.
Emily here is waving her hand and wants to have her say because I went into finance.
Yeah.
So next slide.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah, this is about a bit of promotion. We started a YouTube channel this season. This is still YouTube under construction for us, but there's plus 200 videos. We're going to build we have built, or you join the page, you can see the 5 latest webinars because that's the valuable information. We've been doing videos for a very long time, and there's a lot of work in structuring them, packaging them, but there's lots of information that is evergreen that you can find here. So I just want to do a bit of promotion. And of course, if you think we are interesting, don't hesitate to contact us. I think Topdog has done plus 300 SEO projects. We also have a close and functional cooperation with Toon Boom Boom. So if you find it interesting, don't hesitate to contact us and have a conversation. The worst thing that can happen to you is that you will learn something new that you can recycle and use for the rest of your life for your own benefit. I think we're going to jump into the questions here. And I actually saw Emily putting up her hand, but it went down again. But you can put it up again, Emily, and I will let you in. So we're 96 people left. I think we're going to go into the questions, and there is a first question from Yusra Aman. Please forgive me my bad pronunciation. And Yusra is asking, how do you make sure UX and SEO fit together? Because they are a little bit separate topics. So the concrete question is, how do you think these two areas should be integrated in a team? I will answer, and then Dennis will answer, because I'm actually certain that there will be different answers. You will get both perspectives you saw. So the problem with SEO is that SEO is not the goal. It is an activity. It's a process. And this process is to deliver user impact or user influence in different ways. Sometimes it's a purchase, sometimes it's influence someone's opinion. And you do SEO by doing tech, content, UX, and external links, basically. I would like to add trust, as you noticed after this conversation. And companies work like this. They have a design department or a design agency. They have a tech department or a tech agency. They are completely separated from each other. And so this is the problem of SEO. It's organizational. It's 4 silos getting this to work. And this is very, very hard. That's why you see actually most companies do not have number one positions, not even Topdog. Our perspective is that this is a process of requirement. So you have what we call an SEO product owner. That title does not exist. We invented it here at Topdog. And this person knows a lot about SEO and tech and content and UX. But he gathers all the requirements based on a specific goal. And in UX and design, it means creating wireframes and mockups. And then that will go to the designer and the agency. Now that's the primary process, but it needs to be a bit adapted, right? So just to give you a practical example, we have done projects like I just described with Denise. But sometimes we have really customers that is quite good at what they do. And then you don't need us to do that. Then it's just Denise and the customer, because the customer has created very clear requirements for Denise. So it is this process of requirements and how many requirements you need to define this process. That is what defines the outcome. And you need a bit flexibility depending on the organizational capability. And those are different every time. I hope this clarified a little bit, Yusa. Now it's your turn, Denise.
Yeah, thank you. Christian, I agree with you with your thoughts. And from my perspective, if we talk about UX and SEO, first step for our UX agency is to taking into account SEO parts, SEO requirements. Uh, and this requirements like basis for create right structure, to put some specific block, to put the exact naming of this, to use UI methods like H1, H2, etc., to highlight some points. Yeah, and uh, maybe 5 years ago, we had a lot of problems or issues, I think, with SEO agencies in general, like a domain, yeah, because they wanted to touch our work and cross the border without SEO and UX. And we didn't want to take into account this thing. But now it's everything is changed. Google changed, that's Christian mentioned and in the beginning. And right now we can collaborate together to hear each other and to create this product optimize for great usability part and for for humans and for robots from Google. And yeah, the main idea to hear each other and have everything on your page that you need, that SEO mentioned and say to you like requirements. And this is the success path.
I'm going to tell you an example of this, Yusra, so you can, and everyone can Google this. So I had the example of robotic lawn mowers, and I said they made some mistakes. And the mistakes is done because they were thinking SEO and not user experience. So if you use a Google robotgräsklippare, you will notice that Husqvarna is top 3. And if you click that link, you will notice that before this screenshot, I'm going to go there so everyone can see it. Give me a second. I'm making you seasick here. So here you have it. So this is just part of the page. On top of this, there is some weird content that is completely, from a user perspective, weird. Someone who made SEO decided that we're going to have a short snippet of text in the top, not our products, even though everyone knows intuitively that it is products that they desire, right? That's why you Google robotic lawnmower. You want products so you can start your journey. And this is what's creating the problem. They should have just made this the primary experience on first screen, not the first screen they have today. That should be in the bottom of the page. It's not necessarily pointless, but it has the least priority. So they created something great, and then someone said we need to rank, so we need a text in the top. And someone actually smacked a decent design on it, I would say. So if they just fixed that, they would have won. So in this case, the SEO requirements was not interpreted correctly or executed in the wrong way, or something Google changed in the way. I didn't share like the metrics here, but you can quite clearly see when Google started taking this into account, because they were stable number one, and then they started fluctuating 2 years ago, something like that. So this is a perfect example of how SEO and UX don't always dance well together, even though they actually creating a very good experience. I would say this is Husqvarna should have won a prize because what they did here, I would say, at least here in Sweden, maybe not in the US, but at least here in Sweden. So yeah, I'm not sure we are answering your question, Jussa, in a good way, but you got a lot of information to digest here. Yes, Anna-Karin, this is the link we're talking about. Thank you, Anna-Karin. Okay, so we have more time for questions, and if you don't want to answer, if you don't want to put any questions forward, you can raise your hand. Someone raised their hand. Mikael Karlsson. So I'm going to try to let you in, Michael. This is exciting. So Michael, you can try to say something, I think.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me now?
I hear you loud and clear. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'm sure you've sort of answered this question already. And I guess you get this question like a million times, but anyway, I'm a UX writer, a content designer, and when we design pages for our website, we want to fill them with just the right amount of content. So not too much text, because we don't want to overwhelm our users with redundant content. But then we often hear there's like a silver bullet point that we need more text in order to rank higher on Google. Like the more, the better. And I wonder if this is still true today, or can you rank higher with less text, or like just the right amount of text, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Um, and this is actually not, it's a little bit difficult question. So I'm going to answer it in several ways. That will probably confuse you. That's not my main goal here. But one of the problems that I want to address first is that we cannot look at the text in isolation. So people ask questions to Google, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever. And then Google and ChatGPT wants to answer them quickly. They want the user to do the query, make a guess on where they want to can find this content, and when they arrive at that destination, they should just show it. And there are many examples of this. So you can, for instance, see how Google is talking about web core vitals. They want the content to be delivered quickly. Sometimes you see what is like quick links, like this on Wikipedia, you have these hashbang links, so you end up in the right place on the page right away. That's Google trying to make sure that the user gets the right answer very, very, very quickly. So when you create the text, this is the SEO part. So for instance, you can see that a question like the word SEO is a very general question. It could mean a lot of things. In that case, you probably need a lot of text so the user can start scrolling through and find the answer they are looking for, because the question is too general for you to deliver a good answer, right? But if you take something like how much does SEO cost? That's a very definitive question. That means people do that query, you're number one, and when they click, it just says SEO costing 87,000 kronas. That's the best SEO you can do. Now, that's of course difficult, but you get the logic. So you want to answer the question right away. That's the best type of SEO. So in some cases, you actually need a lot of content if it's a complex topic like SEO, and the user needs to be able to scroll through that content to find the question and the answer. And Dennis actually have a very good example of this. Let me try to find it. So I'm going to show you. So there was one slide. Yeah, this one.
Yeah.
In this case, you need to package the content in a snackable way, right? So the user has to spend less time to find the answer they are looking for. And you can actually, like, you can just sense the description. It has quite a lot of content here. And your job is to make it easier for the user to find the content they are looking for within seconds. So in that case, you need more content. But if you have a more definitive question, you don't need more content. You just need the answer. And you need to provide an answer very, very quickly and as clearly, as simple as possible. I'm not sure if I confused you in any way here, Michael, or not, but please ask a follow-up question.
No, I think that was a good answer. I mean, what we try to do is to define what problems that one particular page should solve, and then we put as much content as needed in order to solve those problems. And if we have, some sort of related but also different problems, user problems, then we might put them on a different page and link to that page, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but my point is that often we get told to put, or well, not maybe get told, but there is there's a tendency to put more content than you need on some pages just in order to rank higher on SEO. Is my honest opinion.
It's absolutely so. I think it's a general rule, but when you can see the different situations and ask yourself, what answer should I provide and what does that require? And also, you see these slides here, how to package the content so it becomes easier to scroll.
Yeah.
I call it snackable, right? The user comes to this page, and the first thing they ask themselves, have I come to the right page? That's why you have a very clear H1. The next question they ask yourself, which I was talking about, can I trust this content? Can I trust these individuals? And the third thing they start doing, I need to find the question so I can read through and get my answer. So if we take this SEO versus cost of SEO, if they're searching for SEO, but they mean the cost, they will start scrolling to find the H2. How much does SEO cost? And then they start reading. They don't read from the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
So as you can see, even in your example, we're pointing to this UX problem, and a wall of text is not the answer. It is the problem. So it is contextual. You need to understand the user, how they interact, and what they want and what they desire. That's when you create good site metrics. It's not the content in itself. So let me kill my own darling here also, just to make it really terrible for you, Michael. Sometimes, still, when we have problems, we just slap 500 words in the bottom of the page and things improve a little bit.
Yeah.
But I expect that tactic to have a due date. And for every day that passes, that due date is coming closer.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting.
So I just wanted to give you the full perspective here, so you in your day-to-day life can make better decisions.
Yeah, I understand. Well, thank you very much. I have to jump to another meeting, but this was great. So thank you very much.
Good question.
Thank you for your attention.
So we can continue. Is there more questions? So please, yeah, okay, Mikael Westberg, I'm going to let you in as well. So I'm going to allow you to speak. So Mikael, can you hear us? Say something. So there's something with your microphone. I requested access to the microphone here, so you should be able to say something. Maybe you need to approve something. I'm sorry, it doesn't seem to be working, Michael. Maybe you need to write your question. Sorry for this.
Yeah, or turn on your mic.
So I can see your mic is muted, Michael, here. It says conversation allowed, guest conversation allowed, your hand is up, and then there is a symbol that your mic is muted. So maybe you need to accept something or unmute yourself. Let's give Michael a couple of seconds here. Okay, maybe you have to write the question, Michael, instead, and we try to answer it. Sorry, it doesn't seem to be working. So we can do, someone else has a question, or I can ask Dennis a question. While you think about your question, or Michael is writing the question in the chat, I'm going to ask you a question, Dennis. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, ready, always ready.
So this is a no-brainer. UX design and AI. Where are we?
Well, oh, it's a good question. By the way, we launched our GPT helper right now, and if you open our website, I think on the foreign market you can't find this, but in Ukrainian market we launched this idea that we reach all data from our company, from our expertise, and trained the GPT model for this. And now if you ask some questions in Ukrainian, you can get like tips some advices and information about your website. You can send this link and understand what's wrong. It's like basic things, but it's really helpful for starting improving your UX. Yeah, but in general, a lot of people right now in our domain thought that GPT or AI can replace it on the workplace. But uh, honest only for the trainee or junior position, because right now Google has this tool that you can say, please create me design for selling goods electronic, for example, and give me Figma mockup, and Google can do it really fast, priceless, without any without any money, and you can get some typical e-commerce website for desktop and mobile dimensions immediately, really fast. It's 10 minutes, let's mention. But junior designer would do this work like a week. In this case, yeah, it's really, I'm afraid of this. But if we talk about medium, senior level, lead level, C level, like me, it's only about speed up your work to increase your productivity. And for now, in design, in UX, AI, it's only helper, because in our company, for example, we automated a lot of processes. For example, years ago, we made some work for 60 hours. Right now, we can make the same work for 40 hours, like a project. And AI, it's our helper. It's like when you change one tool from one tool to another tool. When you change, I don't know, your pen to iPad. Yeah. Right now, when you change your thoughts to some idea, and it's in this way for UX. It's helper for generation content, for generation pictures, for speed up your work in general. Yeah, that's why it's our friend. Yeah.
Can I add a small perspective, Dennis?
Sorry, small perspective.
Yeah,
Ah.
to add on to what Dennis is saying, I think AI is missing something, and this is so if you want to impact user metrics, you need to also surprise the user a little bit.
Yeah,
Cannot be perfectly predictable. Not too much, too much is not good either, right?
yeah.
And this spice of creativity is actually quite important. You can impact user metrics like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And AI is not good at that. Only the human mind, and it will be like that for a long time. You also need to know a lot about the user needs, and AI doesn't do that at all.
Yeah.
But that's very challenging for the SEO consultant and the UX designer as well, I might tell you. So you need to know a lot about the user and the user needs, and most companies don't do that because the website is a little bit protection from the user needs. You speak out what you want, and if someone wants something else, yeah, doesn't work very well. So that's my take on it. Shall we look for more questions, Denise?
Yeah, of course. If you don't have in chat, feel
No,
free.
no, it looks like we're super clear on all
Yeah.
issues.
I can share maybe I have yeah. I know. I have small questions. Maybe if somebody want to know some little tips, I can share, because it's really common
Yeah,
questions. A common question for us. What's the top 10 critical problem in UX? Yeah, I can share maybe 5 if you need. I think it will be
do
helpful.
that. There's still 50 people here, so
Uh-huh.
please do that.
Yeah. And yeah, it's common question. What's the most critical UX improvement? If you want to start this process, of course, ask us. Yeah, but if you want to do it with yourself, your own team, if we talk about e-commerce like a base, because e-commerce is equals money purchasing. uh, the first look you should take a look to checkout page, because it's most important page when the users make decision to finish this purchasing, to pay, to fill out the form, and this is the most critical. It's number one. Take a look, try to buy your goods on your website, and look closer to the checkout. It's the top one. The second position, it's a product page, PDP. Yeah, and I mentioned a lot of things today. And the third thing, it's not the page, it's idea, it's personalization, because we have a lot of competitors on your market, on your domain in general. And if you know what your user want to, you can give them this and they get it. And this is about personalization. It's the common products, it's similar products. You may say, you may know, and something like that, and some recommendation on the card page in the third one. If you have a perfect checkout, the good PDP page, and personalization, your current your current product, your current website would be better on the 20-30% than other competitors. This is ideal.
Thank you, Dennis. So we're still 49 people here, and we're open for business here, for questions, for
Yeah.
free. So there's like 15 years of UX experience and 20 years of SEO experience. So you can ask your questions. So maybe I can insert a marketing message. So we have a page about webinars. The sign up page, you all visited to sign up here. On that page, there are reviews from our users. If you like this webinar, please send me your opinion about the webinar and allow me to publish it. As a thank you, there is a do follow link to your website with some value higher than 0 for you. So there's a little bit of benefit. My goal is to collect 100 reviews of these webinars and show it, because this content will be collected by Google, by you reading it, and by the AI tools. So when someone asked who does best SEO webinars in the Nordic, the answer would be Topdog. So please email your opinion to me and allow me to publish it, and there's a link back to you. And now I see a question. It's from Lisa. Lisa asks, what would you say is the most important SEO UX parts of the PDP to optimize? Shall you start, Denise?
Yeah, I'm start. Yeah, I mentioned some real example on this webinar, and I think the most important is the exact photo of the goods. It's the first. Next, it's the clear description of the goods. Options. If we talk about fashion, it's size, color, etc., or electronics, it's dimension of the screen, for example. Price and call to action should be together. Reviews on the first screen, it means maybe some stars or a quick link to click and see overview. And the last part, not the least, it's payment methods, delivery methods. All of this should be on the first two screens. If you have it, you have the good PDP, like a starting point for optimization and for selling. Other things, it's the secondary. Yeah, maybe you have. Yeah. But maybe photo clock should be here. Yeah, but please, Christian, your
I
turn.
agree with everything Dennis said, with a small add-on. And it is to view every perspective is as the user journey. So for instance, if the benefit of buying this piece of clothing, for instance, is quick delivery, you need to communicate it quite clearly. So you need to have a descriptive, click-friendly title tag, as you can see here. And then in the description, you should have benefits, quick delivery, 2 days, and some other benefits. And they should be repeated when I land on the page. So if you promise 2-day delivery, and this is an important benefit for your customers, not for everyone, but those customers that you target, it needs to be repeated when they land, so the user understand, okay, if I just continue, I will get a quick delivery. So it's like a promise, and you need to hold the user hands all the way from the search result to final checkout. That's my take on it. So Camila asked about Microsoft Clarity, if the free version is enough compared to the paid version. And I'm going to be brutally honest here, Camila, I never used the paid version because
Yeah, it's for me. It's a question for me because Clarity is absolutely free. Use this tool for rich data, for make decision, and yeah, paid version is only for big enterprise solutions. It's absolutely free. Feel free to use free version.
yeah, that's my opinion too. So I'm going to continue here. There's a question from Johan Frodell. I'm going to read it before I say it out loud.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Johan asked the question if you should work right away after a migration, and work right away means SEO. I would say it doesn't matter, but usually when you do a migration, Google needs a bit of time to reassess things. But if you do improvements, because that's what SEO is, improvement for your core users, it doesn't matter when you do it. You can just continue doing it afterwards. It might take a little bit longer before you get the correct feedback, because when you do these changes between platforms, you usually do design changes, and Google needs a bit of time to reassess things. And also, if you've done it incorrectly, it could take a lot of time to reassess things. But the timing question when you do SEO, it doesn't matter, just as long as it is viewed as user improvements. Okay, Elsa. Elsa is asking if there's any advice for novice UX designer. I think this is a Dennis question.
Yeah, it's for me. Do you have any advices for novice UX designers? Is there anything specific to focus on in order to stand out on the work market and become a good UX designer? It's a good question. It's a big fear of to be a novice in UX part, because I mentioned this GPT can deal with it. You, somebody can compare you and some GPT decision, but uh, it's not a bad news. It's like it's opportunity. First of all, you need to have a huge visual library. For this, take a look a lot of case studies, websites, open our site and read the blog, because we have a lot of things with descriptions. And your first steps is to reach at least part of the data that you have about UX and sites. Open the website that you like. I don't know, your favorite website, and try to understand each part of them. Try to understand of what bricks they use to create this interface, and make it again for other sites. It's the first step. It's to understand best practice of or anything practice in use. The second step is to recreate this website. You can copy some decision, some page as is, and try to improve it. And after that, show to your friends and ask, what do you like? What do you don't like? Because user experience is about their experience, their users. You all decision you made only for the users. Of course, in general, for business, they need to earn money, of course, but the main persona who make decision is the users. That's why you need to test your examples on your friends. And the third step is try to have real cases. For example, make your vision of the famous websites and make this portfolio and try to ask community about this. Of course, you can get a lot of hate, but good designers like feedback and critics. But if you get it, you understand your growing point or any feedback. Any feedback, it's always a good idea to understand, do you really want to be a UX designer? If you deal with it, go on, move forward and try to reach your real experience. Yeah, I think this is the first 3 steps.
We got a long answer there, Elsa, you know. So what we will do is transcribe this webinar, put it on the landing page so you can have ChatGPT dissect every part of this webinar afterwards.
Yeah.
Hope that works, Elsa. I think this was it. Wishing everyone a great day.
Have a great day. Thanks for your attention.